Would it surprise you that I got the VIN numbers of every one of my Democrat colleagues' vehicles and found that none of them bought any of the additional safety technologies on their cars?
What I am saying to you is it's the Republican shutdown, my friend.
I get a paycheck.
I object to you stalking my car and my staff to find the VIN numbers to present to this committee.
In the marble halls where tempers rise, a senator lifts his notes and sighs. People can't buy every shiny thing, yet we force them all by government string. He spoke of cars, of cost, of code, then claimed he'd walked where VINs were showed. His rivals gasped, "You stalked our rides? You crossed the line where privacy hides." The chamber flared like thunder's drum, accusations flying, decorum undone. Then the tale turned to a darker refrain, a government closed and workers in pain. 14 times we sought to pay, 14 times you turned away, said Moreno, voice like iron and flame, while hungry homes curse Washington's name. The chairman nodded, the record set tight, as planes delayed through a sleepless night. And in the echo, the question remains, who guards the people when power plays games?
And people don't have unlimited budgets when they come buy a car, right? So they don't just go in and say, I'll take every option. Would you agree?
I do agree with that.
Would it surprise you that I got the VIN numbers of every one of my Democrat colleagues' vehicles and found that none of them bought any of the additional safety technologies on their cars?
I did not know that, Senator.
So when you are actually shopping for a car with your own money, you don't buy the technology. But we're sitting here saying that this should be mandated for everybody else's cars. And what's been the result? We drove up the price of cars, almost doubled in the last 10 years. Car prices have doubled in the last 10 years. That's why cars are now 13 years old and why the fleet is less safe.
Thank you. Senator Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'd like to ask unanimous consent for something to be submitted to the record, because I'd like to ask for Senator Moreno to submit to the committee how he obtained our personal VIN numbers, what he plans to do with them, and appears to be a clear overreach and violation of our privacy and not accurate as to what he said, especially about, I can talk about my own vehicles. And so I'm asking for unanimous consent to find out what he is trying to find out about my automobile ownership.
The VIN numbers are displayed on the windshield of the car.
So I'm not going to get back and forth and use my time. So you went into my garage in Las Vegas to find the VIN number on my car.
You have a car that you drive here, or do you walk?
Mr. Chairman, I'll talk to you after, but I do not have a car that I drive here, sir.
You drive in a car here?
That is my staff's car.
So you're not concerned about your staff safety?
I am not going to get back and forth with you. I am just telling you that I'm asking unanimous consent that for you to submit to this committee what VIN numbers you have, whose privacy you violated, and what you plan to do with it. That's all. I'd like to move on to international tourism now.
Thank you. Senator Moreno has asked for a moment.
I just need a real quick question for Mr. Edwards. But before I do, as somebody who's been here 10 months, I think what we just saw was exactly classic Washington, D.C. In other words, the car that I drive should be safe. The car that my staff drives, who cares about them? I get a paycheck.
I object to you stalking my car and my staff to find the VIN numbers to present to this committee. What are you doing there? What are you going to do with them? It's an invasion of our privacy. If you came and asked me for my VIN, I will tell you what I have in my car.
It's visible from the outside of the car.
So you went and followed me. You went and followed me to see who drives me.
Can I reclaim my time?
And write down their VIN number. You interrupted me. You're attacking me. You watched me go to see who drives me, writing down their VIN number so you could find out what they have. That seems a little creepy.
Just to expose the hypocrisy. Much like, for example,
expose
the fact
the hypocrisy.
that you get paid, you get a paycheck, but you walk by, you get a paycheck.
I'm donating my paycheck, sir, and I would happily be on legislation
What do you say to them?
to give.
What do you say to the staff? What do you
I
say
am-
to the TSA workers? What do you say to the air traffic controllers? What
What
do you
I
say
am
to the
saying
military?
to you is
What do you
this
say
is
to
a
the Capitol
Republican
Police?
shutdown, my friend. You are in control of the White House. You are in control of the House, and you are in control of the Senate.
Does it
and
take
if you
60
went
votes?
home
Does
to
it
a
take 60
food
votes?
bank instead of going to Mar-a-Lago
Does it
to
take 60
eat
votes?
at a gold-plated dinner while people are starving, you might see and
does
hear
it-
your
does it take
constituents, sir.
60 does
You
it-
are blind to the
Does it take
suffering of
60
your
votes?
people.
Does it take 60 votes?
It takes you listening and coming to the table
So
to
it
have a
does take 60
discussion.
votes.
You want to have this, come talk to me in private, sir.
Okay. So it does take 60 votes, for the record, just so that we're clear on the reporting, so that there's no misinformation. It does take, back to you, Mr. Edwards.
Well, if Senator Moreno would be open perhaps to a couple of questions, just to clarify the record, because we had a bit of Washington play acting just a moment ago. Senator Moreno, is it accurate that you and virtually every other Republican have voted 14 times to reopen the government?
We voted 14 times to end debate so that we could actually vote to open the government, yes.
And is it accurate that Senator Rosen and virtually every other Democrat has voted 14 times to keep the government closed?
Yes, her colleague from Nevada has bravely fought Chuck Schumer and has voted to open the government. So has John Fetterman and Angus King from Maine. So I applaud 3 Democrats for actually having the decency, the humanity to be able to pay government workers, pay our military, provide Head Start, provide SNAP benefits.
And is it accurate that Democrat Senator John Fetterman has repeatedly said this is a Democrat shutdown caused by Chuck Schumer and the Democrats?
Yeah, and I find it ironic that my Democrat colleagues will go to lobbyist dinners tonight, which they get fed steak, while people in their own constituents in their own states will not know where to get money to buy their groceries, or in the case of SNAP recipients, not be able to buy basic goods.
Is it also accurate that during the Biden presidency, 13 times Republicans worked with Democrats to pass a clean continuing resolution?
You would know better, Chairman, but I don't think there's ever been a time in U.S. history where a clean continuing resolution has been voted down by either party.
And is it accurate as well that CNN has fact-checked multiple Democrats who have insisted this is not a clean CR, and CNN, sometimes called the Clinton News Network, sometimes called the Communist News Network, has fact-checked the Democrats and said, no, this is in fact a clean CR that your party is voting against?
Yes, although I do wonder whether they've actually read the legislation, because that evidently is something that's optional. But I would assume if they have read it or took the time to read it, they'd realize it's their budget that they passed, and they're blocking this through a procedural technicality that prohibits us from actually taking a vote to reopen the government.
The record will reflect that every one of the questions we just engaged in is objectively true, and it says something that not a single Democrat is here to contest it, that their approach to this is instead to scream and yell while consistently voting to keep the government shut down and to deny pay to thousands of federal workers, including, within this committee's jurisdiction, some 50,000 TSA agents who are going to work right now. They missed their last paycheck. They're not being paid, including some 14,000 air traffic controllers who are going to work right now. They're not being paid. And the consequence, we are seeing delays at airports all across the country. We are seeing thousands of delays. We are seeing thousands of flight cancellations. We are seeing ground stops in major airports. And I would note one senior Democrat aide told Politico this shutdown will continue until planes start falling from the sky. For a committee with jurisdiction over aviation safety, that is a horrifying statement. And yet, for our Democrat colleagues, apparently they agree with those sentiments.